Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you are, as they used to say. It's good to see everybody here. We're here in the workshop of Wood Spun Round. I'm Doug, and it's good to have you with me today. I've got some friends with me that I'll bring in. One is MIA, Ruby Claire. I think she's working on a dog right now. And then there's Todd Phipps. We're glad to have Todd from Texas. And then Wayne, the
Evening,
wood turning
guys.
wizard.
Hello.
Ah, hold on. I've got to
There
get
she
rid of
is,
that.
coming back.
Yep, sorry about that. Maggie was just welcoming some company into the house.
Oh,
Well, she was being a good guard dog.
There we go. Phew. That drives me crazy every time I do that. I don't understand it. But anyhow, it's good to have everybody. Like I said, uh, we're, we're all here. We're going to turn. I started to say Wayne the Wood Wizard is here. I never finished that that title. The Magical Wizard of Wayne. That's it. All right. I'm going to put you guys back in the background and we'll talk
idea.
about what we're doing here. I've got on the lathe. We'll go ahead and get to the end zoom here. This is a piece of catalpa, and I have gotten it started. It's not, the bottom side is not finished yet, but you can see I've got the tenon there. The foot is ready. I've started my outside curve. Um, you can't quite see it, but I do have um, where roughly where I'm going to put the rim. But I'm to that point because I want to do some coloring today, and I didn't want to keep you guys forever and ever. So I'm going to go ahead and start from this point, finishing the outside of my bowl shape, and then while I'm doing that, one of these three is going to be so kind as to read out who all is in the chat with us today. So
Well,
here we go.
I know one who won't.
I was actually going to consider volunteering tonight, but
Well,
since
there you
you
go.
really want to do it, Wayne, you go right ahead.
No, that's okay, Ruby. On you go.
Well, maybe Todd wants to.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
All
I
Okay,
right.
saw that one coming.
Well,
here we go then.
besides myself, Todd, and Wayne, and of course Doug, there's Michael McEwen. Dale, Old Man River is in. Um, Jim Selby. Let's see. Going down our list here, Ward Wilson from Arizona. Frederick Day. Because it's kind of damp and chilly over there in Kent. That's how we started our day here. Roger Wallum is with us. Ward Wilson. Al Dawson. Hi, Al. Um, let's see. Bert Stoll. Anthony Green. Thomas Kenny. Jennifer from Jennifer's Craft and Creations.
Evening, Jennifer.
And that's all I have on my list.
Okay,
Okay.
we've also got Todd at Glen Cove in. Thomas Kenny's in. Frederick Day has asked me a question. He said, I swear Wayne looks younger every time I see him. What's the secret, Wayne? Alcohol, Frederick.
Being well pickled.
I
Yeah.
thought it was camera placement.
No, Todd, it's definitely alcohol.
Oh, you better have another one then.
Oh, I will.
And Rob from Copper Owl has joined us. Hi, Rob.
Evening, Rob.
Tim
Hey,
Ponder just popped in. And Rich Bolduck.
Hey, Rich.
He's here, but his stream is muted because he's in a meeting.
Okay.
Martin Orb is here.
I'm not bad, Jennifer. How are you? Looking forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks. In fact, for those of you going to Harrogate, it is now 16 days and around about 15 hours before it starts.
And you'll be able to see both Wayne and I there.
How about you, Todd? Are you going to Harrogate?
I will not be there. I will probably be at San Antonio at the state marching band competition about that time.
There you go. All right.
But you'll be with us in spirit, won't you, Todd?
Absolutely.
And so will you, won't you, Doug?
Absolutely. That's I can remember way back as I was pretty well just getting started. Rich, the Beard 16, had me on his show and helped me get started, and asked me if I would ever consider going to the other one.
Maker Central.
Yes, Maker Central. Thank you. I don't know why I couldn't think of that all of a sudden. Anyway, I said, it's probably not in the cards. However, if I ever had the chance to come over to England, I would love to go to Maker Central. And I think since then I've kind of changed my mind. I'd rather go to
Yeah.
Harrogate, I think.
I've actually I've stopped going to Maker Central now. It's changed far too much since
Right.
Nick handed it over to an organization that runs big fairs.
Okay.
And it's lost its to me anyway. This is just me. Other people have probably got a whole different opinion, but it's lost what it started with.
Right.
And I've got to say, when it first started, when Maker Central first started, there was a hell of a lot of woodworking and wood turning going on in
Right.
the first couple of years, and then it sort of fell off. The good thing about it now is it's more family oriented.
Okay.
So kids get a hell of a lot to do there at Maker Central now. There's a lot of hands-on stuff. It's just changed a bit too much. And if you are a woodworker, wood turner, there's a couple of few shows in the UK, but to me, Harrogate is still the best one.
Martin Ford has joined us. Welcome, Martin. By the way, this may be the last Harrogate show, from what I understand.
All right, okay. I haven't.
Because it's being run by the magazine company, and apparently the two women that have organized it were declared redundant, and no one else has been assigned to head up the next one.
Wow.
So I'm kind of glad I'm going to make it for this one.
If they make that announcement, there may be such an uproar. They may understand they need to keep it going.
Well, keep your fingers crossed.
Yeah. There's not a show, but it's more a gathering of wood turners primarily. It takes place up in Michigan that I'm hoping last minute will come back again. The organizer kind of retired from doing it, so I'm hoping he's going to have either a change of heart or somebody else is going to grab hold of it and work on it.
And Jamie has just joined us. Hi, Jamie.
Jamie.
All right. Sanding mostly by hand here. Holy cow, I ordered sandpaper yesterday. If you haven't ordered bulk sandpaper in a little while, get ready for sticker shock. I about passed out.
Well, I understand when I get to Harrogate, I just have to find McDo's and I can get all I need.
That was maybe last year, Ruby. I don't think that's happening this year.
No, probably not.
See, what Mick was doing last year, he was actually pinching all of Mark's stock.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll have to visit Mark and pinch some too.
No, he's Mark is on the Axminster stand.
Yeah.
That's true. He is demonstrating for them this
Yeah,
year.
Rob is. Oh God, he did tell me the other night.
Yeah, he did say um,
He did.
he's not on his own. He doesn't have his own stand this year. Whose was that? Oh, Taylor's Murfield, isn't it?
No.
No?
As far as I'm aware, Dan is not going to have a stand for Taylor's at Harrogate this year.
Okay.
It begins with a D. Dave, not Dave. It's something Evans. The
Okay.
stand he's on.
All right. Let's see what that looks like before we put the sandpaper away. No. Got to back up. I know what I got to do. I got to change sandpaper. This is old stuff that's just not cut.
DJ Evans. Jamie just put it in. It's DJ Evans.
Okay.
Rob from Klingspor. That's the stand that he's going to be on.
No, I'll have to see if I can't find them then.
Oh, it's fine, Ruby. I'll take you for a wander about.
Thanks, Wayne.
And you change sandpaper, and I can feel the difference immediately. As soon as I get a fresh piece on there. Amazing. Catalpa is one of those woods, if you sand it too hard and build too much heat up, you can actually raise, well, you don't want to raise the hardwood, you take out the softwood faster than you do the hardwood. So you have to have a light touch. Whoa, don't want to lose that. It's not even supposed to be over here. That's my measuring stick for my laser.
Frederick has said the Craft Supply USA salt and pepper grinder kits arrived today. He made 2 out of oak. The quality is superb. He might be able to sell a couple. The pepper ones are hard to get at the moment.
Yeah, there seems to be a run on them.
There have been several videos about salt and pepper shakers, mills here lately, so that may be part of it.
Yeah. Now Dale has said, and Dale is from
New York.
Upstate New York, I believe. Yeah.
Yes.
Since he started turning, he hasn't had the budget to go to any symposiums or gatherings. He needs one that is a day trip for him.
And Ron Todd and Pete from Twisted Trees have both joined us. Good morning.
Hey guys.
Good morning,
Morning,
Pete. And good afternoon, Ronald.
I'm lucky enough to do SWAT every year, but I saved my budget for the whole year to go there.
There you go.
Yeah, Doug, your mic might need adjusted.
I think that's when he has the sander on.
Or the vacuum.
Okay.
Or the vacuum, yeah.
Yeah, I bought those things Jamie was suggesting, and I have not had the opportunity to put them on yet. So I'll get that here. I may do that this afternoon after we have some fun here. All right. Now, if I didn't make my tenon too small, we'll be in good shape. Oh, yeah.
By the look of the space in the jaws, that looks just about right.
I tried. I measured them pretty well. I am going to leave my tailstock in for just a moment at least till I get this top straightened up a bit.
Now, Jennifer is said she was talking to Katie last night at the Doncaster Woodturners Club. Katie actually works at Taylor's Murfield,
Mm-hmm.
and they are not having a stand at Harrogate, but they will probably be there at some point to have a look around. Anthony, this wood is catalpa.
Now, do y'all have catalpa there in Europe?
It's not a wood I've come across, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
We have it up here. It's quite nice to work with.
It really is. When the trees are living and healthy, in the spring they have a worm on them. And it's called a catalpa worm. It's kind of a fat, ugly, nasty little worm. But from every fisherman I've ever heard, it's one of the best live baits that there is. Well, hate it when I have something hanging in front of my mask. There we go. All right, well, we're off. Let's get it. There we go. Tool rest is a little closer now.
Maybe if you change the camera angle, Doug.
Maybe I could.
And Lucy's just come in. Good evening, Lucy.
Hiya, Lucy. Lucy, sweet potato.
And Todd has said that catalpa is also known as catawba.
I haven't heard that name for it.
And Frederick said he wishes he could go to Harrogate. I would just like to say hello to some people. Unfortunately, it would just cost me too much, as I would not drive that distance now. What you need to do now, if it does carry on and it is on next year, what you need to do, Fred, is get in touch with some people in your area to see who's going. Because there's quite a lot of people from Kent actually go to Harrogate anyway.
You know, Doug, I found for taking that kind of excess off, I found the square carbides work really well.
You know, yeah, let's give that a whirl.
Especially when the wood is hard and dry like that.
We'll speed it up just a little bit.
Yeah, JP said that he's in Kent and he's going, and so is Jigsy's Shed.
Well, I know at the Harrogate show, and the one I'm going to in Hamilton this weekend, Record Power is bringing out their new handles, Pro Series handles that have been, they worked with some researchers and came up with what is the best shape handle for working with your tools all day.
All right.
They're kind of a triangular pyramid shape, but the bottom is still rounded. So I'm looking forward to using them on the weekend.
Now, Lucy has said that they've decided not to go to Harrogate now due to the cost, and Andy's been off work sick as well, and they've also got the associated cost of having to put the dog in the kennels.
Plus the fact that you hate to leave your dog in the kennel.
Whenever Jane and I used to, we never put the dog in kennels. We always had family come to look after the dogs.
Now, Doug, how are you finding the carbide working on that?
It's okay. That particular cutter is dull. I need to change it out. But yes, it did okay. It got 95% of what I wanted done.
And Karsten Peterson's joined us. Hi, Karsten.
Hi, Carsten. I've got to say though, Lucy, I think the only reason Lucy isn't going to Harrogate is that she's promised that many people cookies that she hasn't got enough time to make them all.
Mm.
I was just thinking kind of the same thing, Wayne.
You
She was
mean
weaseling out of
I,
making
I've been looking
brownies.
forward to them, and I'm not going to get to sample them? Oh, dear.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said earlier on, Ruby, sometimes you just can't get the stuff. Jamie said Lucy isn't going because she's a people pleaser.
Yeah, that one premieres. I think she said she needed to make 5 or 6 batches of brownies. Premiere Live 1. I don't remember what it was now. All right, let's get that.
Now, Wayne, Jennifer's asking, is black locust common in the UK?
No, it's not, Jennifer.
We
Black
have,
locust tends to be a tree from the US.
We have
yeah,
lots of it here.
we have a lot of it here too. We also have honey locust. And that's a
Mhm.
really nice wood to work with.
And the black, the way it fluoresces under black light is pretty cool too.
Yeah, elm does that as well.
Does it?
Really?
Yep. Yes, it does. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Dale
leave this.
says they have a lot of it there.
I'm gonna create this wider, little bit of a wider rim here, and I'll undercut it. But I want to put a little color on it. So I want to get it ready, and we're gonna do that now before we go any further with it. So I don't want to mess the color up. So there we are, sanded to 240. Oh yeah, nice. I've got a nice sharp edge right here. So I'm excited about that. That's good. It's kind of what I
Are
was
you,
hoping
you
for.
planning on using it to add some red color to your piece?
Red color? No. Not that sharp. Not that sharp. Come on.
Well, that was the first thought that came to mind when you said it was a nice sharp edge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Same
yeah, I
here, Ruby.
understand.
Same here.
Okay. That's not what I meant. A nice crisp edge. How's that?
Mm.
Oh, let's get the dirt out of that groove before I wind it up into my tailstock. Get the quill back out of the way as far as it'll go without removing it, because I may need it again here. We're going to put a little black acrylic on here and hope it dries relatively quick. We'll get there we go.
Yeah, I've gotten where I don't throw away plastic lid containers anymore. I keep them for putting paint soda on.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll throw the rest of the container away, but the lid comes to the shop every time. Might have been good to grab
A bigger brush?
Yeah, I was trying to get my mic up so I could cough real quick. Oh, Now, there it goes.
Now, Dale says the black locust only splits easily when frozen, and that's why they always cut down or they split their fence posts in February.
Okay. When I moved from just 30 minutes south of here to North Carolina, and we had a large, what was that tree? Hemlock come down in the front yard. And somebody said, well, I guess that'll be there till next year or so. I said, why is that? Because you can't split it till it gets a little drier. I said, oh, I can split it. Well, I got out there with my chainsaw and I cut that tree up to wood stove size. Started to split it, and it had to be split. It was, golly, that thing was close to 3 feet in diameter on the butt end of the tree. It's huge hemlock. So I got my maul and my axe and my wedges and all that stuff, and commenced to trying to split it. And I beat it, and I beat it, and I beat it. And after about 3 hours, I got one block split. I said, the rest of this is going to sit here till next year. And it did. There was no splitting it, that's for sure. Everything would, you get a wedge into it, even as deep as a half an inch, and it would bounce out like it was spit out. It was crazy.
Now, Fred's asked an interesting question. If any of you had to invent something for wood turning, what would it be?
Ooh.
His choice would be everlasting sandpaper.
There you go. That's a good idea.
And Martin Ford says his would be a self-sharpening gouge.
That's a good idea too. All right. That should be enough paint.
I'm not sure what mine would be, to tell you the truth.
I think mine would be some sort of a device you could put against the wood that would just automatically create the right size tenant. Kind of like magic.
Oh, right, like magic. Okay, I'm with you. Oh, Haley's just come in. Good evening, Haley.
Hey, Haley. Haley, I really appreciate you becoming a real regular in these live broadcasts and the premieres and whatnot. It's been a joy to have you around. In fact, it's been a joy to have
you don't appreciate the rest of us that way?
I do. She's just more recent.
Right,
Oh.
I'll see you all later.
Now, Wayne.
I think we're not supposed to take that personally, Wayne.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
I meant of the recent folks. I'll be right back. I got to get some water. I forgot to get water to rinse that
And
brush
Colin
out with.
Chalmers has come in from Tennessee.
From Tennessee.
Good evening, Colin.
And Karsten says that his invention would be coal jaws that actually hold on to the bowl. What I do, Karsten, to make my coal jaws work better is that I stack two of the little jaws with a longer screw or bolt, I guess it is, together, so it doubles the height of the jaws, and I find that has a tendency to work better.
That sounds like a good idea. I don't think I've had too much trouble with my coal jaws. Of course, I only have the little coal jaws. I don't have the full size ones.
No, I did
All right.
make a set of coal jaws once.
Did you?
Out of 3/4 inch plywood, and to actually fit onto the VB.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
To be honest with you, I prefer my vacuum check.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I'd prefer a vacuum check over anything for redoing the or for cutting off the tenon or redoing the mortise or whatever.
Just speeding up the drying with the hair dryer, and I did turn it on before I aimed it at the wood, because it usually sits in a big pile of shavings. And today was no different.
And Fred says that he thinks Axminster making extended buttons for the cold jaws. That's
I'm
good
sure-
to know, Fred.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
There's been a video or two, people telling you where you can get some other things to make your own extended jaws. On the cheap. I've got to look into that. Almost there.
Door stops work well as well.
Yeah, yeah.
The door stops that you bolt into the floor,
Uh-huh.
the rubbers from them work well on cold jaws as well.
I would think some of the rubbers they use for the bottom of canes would work as well.
Yes,
Sure.
they probably will. Mind you, some of them might be a bit too soft, but again, you need some give in the jaws for cold jaws, because you don't want to mark the wood if they're too hard.
Right.
I'm going to go back and
No,
sand this with
Now,
some
Dale
220
had
because
said that he lives in New York, but he's not from any place really, as he moved about too much as a kid.
gotcha. Yes. I understand. Military, right, Dale? All right, now, what did I do with it? Holy cow. I just got everything out so I'd have it all right here. Found it. My size for the...
Now, are you going to size the entire black area?
just down to where I left this little ridge right here. I left a ridge to tell me where I'm done. So that's where I'm putting size at.
Right. Fred said that. Oh, hang on. I'll read Martin's first. I've been considering investing in a vacuum chuck for a while. Does the chuck leave a mark? Sometimes it does. I've got to say, and sometimes if you are turning a very thin walled bowl and try to use a vacuum chuck, it won't work because it just sucks the air through the bowl. And
Especially if it's an end grain bowl.
yeah, and it's not very. The vacuum chucks are not very good for using on burrs or burls, because obviously there's a lot of voids and it just sucks the air through. Now, Fred has said that he made some wooden ones. This is going back to the cold jaws. He made some wooden ones and covered them with a short section of soft hose pipe.
That's a good idea, Fred.
Now,
Absolutely.
Colin has asked, he came in late, what is Doug making? He's making a candy bowl, which is going to have a coloured rim.
And I'll undercut it a bit when we hollow it out.
I don't know if that's going to be a big enough bowl for candy, though, Doug.
Well, you know, what I'm thinking about is how many kids come to my house, which is usually a total of 0.
There you go.
So it's more than big enough.
Wow, we've had upwards of 300 easily in an evening.
I understand.
I see. Whenever any kids come to our house, which they don't usually, I just let the dogs at them.
That's
Find
how
them
you
buried in the backyard.
keep your dogs fed, is it, Wayne?
Yeah, but I put it. In fact, one of my memories came up today, and I can't remember if I actually put this out last year or the year before. But it says, any of you people doing trick or treating, please come to my house. My dogs haven't had any fresh meat in weeks.
That's too funny. Yeah, I'm in a strange where my house is situated. There's a community, a fairly large community, right behind me. And from what I understand, they'll have most of the people back there will have 200 to 300 kids come through. And here, I won't get a single knock on my door.
Hmm.
It is the strangest thing.
Well,
You don't
because
hear me complaining though.
because of the show this weekend, and my having to go up to set up for it, this will be the first year in 50 years I haven't been home to pass out candy on Halloween.
Oh my,
And I miss seeing the kids with all their different costumes,
sure.
and some of
Right.
them decide they're going to give you a trick whether you want one or not.
As long as it's not a ugly trick.
Nah, they're pretty good about that.
The thing is, it's probably all Doug's neighbours turn around and say, "Don't go to his house. That's that strange person who does stuff with wood."
Could be.
And
Give them a handful of shavings.
Fred says the trick or treaters don't come to his house because he's scarier than they are.
Oh, have you read what Jamie's written, Ruby?
That is not cool.
You want to know what I did for a mask? Well, that's a secret. You'll have to come to my place one year when I'm handing out candy, and then you'll know.
Well, help my time. I cannot. What in the world did I do? My makeup brush is missing.
Oh, my life.
I know it. I know it.
Now, are you going to lay this flat on the ways and then put the color on?
No, ma'am.
No,
No, ma'am.
seeing as how he's going to be using a makeup brush, I think he's going to be using some chameleon flakes or powders.
Yeah.
The powders. Powders, yes.
Yeah.
No, yes. And you don't need to lay it down, Ruby. The powders will stick to the brush without any trouble and lay on really nice. And I was going to use my makeup brush, but it seems to have taken a hike.
And Chris from Trend Creek has joined us. Hi, Chris.
Evening, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Shaving brushes work well for that too.
Yes.
Yes, they would.
I didn't think I'd been into this jar of powders before, but didn't look like there's much left in it. So we'll use this one as far as it goes, and then we'll go to a different color and just kind of blend them. It's amazing how far these colors go, though.
Oh, Ron says your wife took her makeup brush back, Doug.
No, she's got her own. In fact, what happened was I bought one to use just for this. And she said, "Well, I have a couple of those." And I said, "Yeah, but I didn't want to take yours." She said, "Well, I can wash one out for you." I said, "I'll tell you what, you can have this one if you want it, and I'll take one of your old ones." And so that's what she did. She washed out one of her old ones and took the new one, and so we swapped. It was an even deal.
I found it very hard to buy one up around here, so I just used one of the shaving brushes.
Now,
Sure.
we've got a place over here called The Range, which is a cheapo shop.
Right?
So whenever I'm needing makeup brushes, I just buy a couple of few sets at a time.
There you go.
The Range
Just
is
about
kind
there.
of like a Hobby Lobby or a Michaels.
Okay.
It's well, it was actually it's a good history on this one. This guy started doing market stalls when he was a teenager, and they sort of built up from that. And like I said, it is a cheapo shop. Whenever a shop opens in the UK, he is always there to open it. He is high millions. I don't know if he's a billionaire yet, but he's certainly high millions. And whenever he's going to meetings and things like this, say in London, he stays at the cheapest B&B he can find. He eats at all the local breakfast places and things like this.
What you're really saying is he's frugal.
Oh, definitely, but he makes his money.
Yeah, that kind of sounds like Sam Walton, who started Walmart stores. He always stayed at the cheapest place he could find. If he didn't know anybody, if he knew somebody in the town, he'd stay with them. And if you had bought when Walmart stock first went on the market as a public option, it was about $10 a share. That money today would be worth several million.
Oh, yeah, good.
Yeah, that's how much they're worth.
Always miss out on those type of things.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I could have bought Walmart stock, or not Walmart, UPS stock when it first went public. It was pretty cheap for about the first 2 hours. There we go. Blow the excess off of there. Gonna give that just a minute, and then I'm gonna spray it with some sanding sealer. It looks nice and orange on the camera, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
I can see oranges and greens. Of course, you all only see one angle of the light, where I see different angles.
Yeah,
So I can definitely see
Martin
greens.
Ford has said the range sells just about everything, Ruby. Garden furniture to dog food to groceries and so on. That's where he gets his paintbrushes from. Yes, same here. And Walmart is a good comparison.
Okay. The range I went to was more like a Michaels or a Hobby Lobby.
Our local Michaels, nothing wrong with them, but they were next door to one of these trampoline kind of places.
Mm-hmm.
The trampoline place caught on fire overnight,
Oh dear.
couple months ago, I guess. And the Michaels took some heavy smoke and water damage from it.
All right.
So they were shut down. They just recently reopened, and I was up there, and the store looks good. They've rearranged just a little bit. Everything's nice and clean.
Oh,
There we
good.
go. Back
Now,
to a speed that is usable.
Right.
now,
A couple of people have come in. The Mike from Dancers has come in. Raymond Wise has come in. Good evening to you too. And JP has said, don't worry about. He's talking about the trampoline place. He says, don't worry, they'll bounce back.
Yes, they will. They will. Oh, is Todd in? And Zed?
Zed's not been in yet, no.
Okay. And I'm talking about Todd at Glen Cove.
Oh yeah, Todd's been in since just about the beginning. Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Well, when Zed comes in, remind Todd he's got a couple of jokes that Zed needs to hear. Since Zed is the dad joke guy.
And Jamie says, hang on, I told a bad joke and it reminded you of Zed. I'm telling.
Yes. Yes. Usually, if Zed's in, about the time Wayne's done sharing with us everybody that's in the chat, Zed starts in on the bad dad jokes.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing this evening, but he hasn't been in yet.
No, Zed may be working. It's just like lunchtime where Zed is. So I know it's the same for Michael McEwen, but he watches while he's at work. It's research for work. Right, Mike? Here we go. Just get that. Now, let's get rid of this tailstock completely. We're not going to need it anymore. Oh, mercy. Now, if y'all saw that platter video, that platter, if that's straight on, here's at 45. I had that platter way over here, so I could turn it. That was something else.
Michael
And Mike,
says, go
go on.
ahead.
No, go on.
Michael says, hey, Doug, he's at home right now.
Oh, okay. Off today, huh? Oh, I'm missing some light.
Mike says
Mike?
his workday starts at 4:30 in the morning and ends at 8:30 in the morning.
That's not bad.
4:30 to 8:30 a.m. Holy
Yep.
moly! So
That's
you
only,
work?
that's only 4 hours.
Oh, I'm thinking the next day. Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, Michael said he's semi-employed.
And Jen was asking if anyone's watching the Turner's Warehouse live tonight. Got
I
Rebecca
plan to.
Drew, Carl Jacobson,
Jake Thompson, Mark
I could-
Branch.
okay.
Yeah.
Have you got a link for that, Jamie?
You know, that should be a bunch of fun. I know that I had a link to it somewhere from an email. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, I've got it in my calendar. Hopefully, I'll.
Oh, Jamie's just put it in. Jamie's just put the link in. And he said it starts in 2 hours.
Yeah, I'll be done. No question, I'll be done.
Sid says he's made quite a few platters before, but they don't seem to sell that well. Basically, I've done the same thing, Sid.
Well, to tell you the truth, Frederick, all I used to do, because a lot of the stuff that I did on my lives were platters, certainly coloured as well, and we used to sell all the time.
Dale says he doesn't seem to have much luck selling anything. I think you have to live in an area that's got a market, because down here, a bowl you could sell for, say $20, $25. You could easily sell it for 10 times that up near Toronto.
Yeah, That's the thing. It depends on where you live, and it depends on what the market's like. We live in a quite a touristy area in southwest Scotland, and I was a member of a craft artist cooperative. So I had my pieces in two shops, and I used to sell quite a lot. Jimmy said he wishes he had taken all of his stuff out of the attic corner. He made almost £400 in less than a month. There you go. See, Jimmy made £400 in less than a month, and the attic is now empty.
And Doug, Fred is saying that you're turning his drowning out, myself and Wayne.
It does seem like his mic picks up the noise from the turning a little more than normal today.
It's yeah, well, partly because I'm leaning into the load so much right this second. Trying to undercut this rim. Need to get some of that out of there. I'm sorry. It's I know there is some new firmware that Jabra has out. Maybe that'll help when I download that.
Yeah, it's similar. Now, this happened with Mark the other day when he was doing a quick live. The noise cancelling doesn't seem to be working at the moment, Doug.
Okay.
And Anthony says that audio sounded like a NASA transmission just then.
Well, come on. There we go. Yeah, it needs to be undercut a little more. I'm still that thick on the side. But we're getting there. We're getting there.
Now, the way Doug was measuring there, that was about 1/4 of an inch.
See where we're at, and then we can go on.
Well, if you have short fingers like mine, you use a gauge instead.
Oh, and Jamie said it's his right hand, so it's metric. In which case, it wasn't 1/4 of an inch; it was 6 mil.
It's digital regardless. Okay, I've got just a hair over an inch, actually. It's pretty thick still. Thick with a C.
You don't have one of the curved,
A number 2 or a number 3 hollower?
yeah.
No. Well, where there it is. Yes, I do.
See, that's the only reason you have us along.
It's a 3, but I got it before it was called a number 3 hollower.
Now, everyone, remember when you're using the swan neck, you always have the straight piece of the tool on the tool rest.
Yep.
If you actually if you have it on the swan neck, you will got a hell of a lot more chance of it twisting and slipping and catching. A little bit like that.
Too low is the problem.
Yeah, you have to have that tool rest way further back than you would think before you pick that tool up.
Yeah, it's got to be in that wide section. In this part here, if you're up here, it will twist without question. But if you're back here, a lot less issue. But you can't just jab it in either.
Well, on the new Easy Wood, they actually have a mark right on the field that says where the limit to your tool rest can go.
All right. That's much better. We're down to about a ½ inch now. I'm happy with that. At least
Now,
in that area.
Carson said, even when everything is set up right, that tool kicks like a donkey. I've got to say, I have never had that problem. With and Jamie said that he loves the number 3, but he doesn't have very much success with the number 2. I've had no problems with either of them.
No.
With any swan neck, if you've got your tool rest set up properly, so you are working horizontally on center height, you are working with the flat piece of the tool, you should not have any problem at all doing an undercut like Doug was trying there.
Yeah, I find they both work quite well for me.
Yeah. Yeah. The only issue that I ever have with the Easy Wood tools is they make so many shavings. You just got to get rid of them a little more often than you normally would.
Now, Todd's asking, what speed are you turning on, Doug?
1200.
Okay.
Could be a little faster, but
Jamie saying the last time he used the number 2 hollower, he funneled it. Is that on video, Jamie?
I'm sorry. Were you asking me something?
No, sorry.
Wayne, we know it's on video. Is it a video that he showed?
Yeah.
He says he did put the video out.
Fred says he's got the Simon Hope Howling jig. He can't get it fit right. He's doing something now, so it's back to hand tools.
Again, with the Simon Hope hollowing jig, you've got to set that up so that the tool is actually cutting on center height. So it's all to do with how thick, what diameter the tool is that you're using, which is probably 3/4 of an inch or 19 mil if you're using the Simon Hope cutters as well. You've got to take into consideration the tool rest height, so you get that actually set up right on center.
And as Raymond points out, the higher the speed with carbide, the better the cut.
Mm-hmm. That's true. There we go. Oh yeah, I've still got 1.5 inches. Just so you know, Ruby.
I'm glad you said that.
And I've already messed myself up. I let the banjo slide, and so now I've got a ring around here. So I'll have to sand that off and repair it. But we're okay for now.
If that mark is in a line, what you could do is just make a cut at that point.
Yes.
It seems to be the line seems to go halfway around, and then it's not on the other half.
Yeah.
Yeah, Frederick even tried to use a level on it, but it's like trying to nail jelly to a wall. But he won't give up. The thing is with the Simon Hope jig, and there are similar jigs in the US. I can't remember if Ron Brown makes one. I can't remember now, but there are certainly similar jigs in the US. If you have it set up right, you only need one hand to actually do the hollowing,
Yeah.
because everything else is set up to be resting on the tool rest.
Yeah, Trent Bosch has a good setup.
I think that's a similar one. It's the
Goodness gracious.
I don't know how to explain it, to tell you the
You
truth.
talking about the hollowing rigs that have the articulated arms?
Yeah, the articulated arm. That's right.
Yeah, yes, there are several makers. Simple Lathe Tool, I think is the name of the company. One of the companies that makes one. Tim Yoder sells one. Several folks. I'm going to use the big finisher just to smooth out my edges here, or my surface just a little bit.
And as a bar humbug type of person, I'm not reading out Mike's comment.
And Mike has reminded us that it's only 57 days till Christmas.
Yep, that's why I didn't read it out.
Well, that's why you have me here, Wayne.
Yeah. More importantly, it's only 16 days and about 14 hours now until Harrogate starts.
I'm looking forward to it very much.
Okay, I'm going to take a look at this and see if maybe cutting a ring is the solution to my. I'll let my banjo move. I think it is. Okay, I've still got oak dust in my lungs from that big platter.
And
Dewey sheds in.
yeah, hi Dewey.
Dewey, glad to have you along.
And Dale has said it's 9 days until his birthday.
Well,
All
if we
right.
missed it, Dale, happy birthday.
Have a good one.
And you're going to be 27, right, Dale?
Raymond White said, "Why can't dinosaurs clap their hands? Because they're extinct." And Dewey is asked, "What are you guys going to be buying at Harrogate?" Probably lots of beer.
How did I know that was going to be your answer? Okay. Make sure my outside is cleaned up before we do anything with it. That's not the one I wanted anyway.
I'm actually, to tell you the truth, I'm actually not planning on buying anything at Harrogate this year, which is going to be a shock to Jane. A good one.
I haven't really set on anything different in particular. I want to wait and look around and see what's there.
Here we go.
And Todd wants to know why skeletons are so laid back. He figures it's because nothing skin.
Nothing gets under their skin, yeah.
And Dewey's asking me, how is the flooding up by me? Luckily, now we did have water in the garden earlier on this year. We have had numerous flood warnings, but so far everything has been okay. But, and the big but is, we are just getting into the flood season now.
And Raymond says that he gave his handyman a to-do list, but he only did jobs 1 through and 5. Turns out he only does odd jobs. That was a good one, Ray.
Yeah, you and me both, Dewey.
Let's see here. It is. I'm going to put on whole stop. How many times do I have to hit the stop button? We're going to put on some Axe. This label says middle step. That was an old label before it was actually out. It's called the first step, which is it's a tung oil paste. No wax. He had wax in it originally and decided to take the wax out. Kind of doesn't make sense to have wax and oil at the same time. I know some others do that, and that's okay. That's their program.
Lucy has said that she has decided to cancel her birthday this year. That's a shame, Lucy. Everybody was waiting to celebrate your 50th.
That was just mean, Wayne.
Yeah, I know, Doug, I know.
That's why she doesn't want to go to Harrogate. She didn't want to go home with 50 potatoes.
Dale says he only has 1 year left in his 60s.
Oh my, yes, yes.
Welcome,
I told you the other day, Dale, I'm not far behind you.
welcome to middle age, Dale.
Yeah, welcome to middle age. Ruby is slightly more middle-aged than I am.
Just slightly.
Just slightly.
I had to get a head start on you, Wayne.
All right, that's enough of that.
To tell you the truth, Doug, I really like that coloured rim with the colour of the wood, seeing as how you put the axe on there.
Yeah, yeah. That the wood is such a. It's a nice lighter brown color. I just really like it, and it cuts relatively easy. That was good. I turned that on and had my face right in front of it, so it slung on me just a little bit.
Now that's something that people have to think more about when they're adding color to their work is what color goes with the color of the wood when the wood has finish
Sure.
on it, because
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
changes significantly.
Yep. Are you actually wanting to complement the colour of the wood?
Mhm.
Or are you wanting to go totally opposite to the colour of the wood?
And is it a deal where the colors will mix a little bit?
Well, what I do is I keep a piece of the wood and I put the finish on it that I'm going to use, so I know what color it's going to be, and then I pick my color.
Right?
See, I think Ruby thinks too much and plans these things out too much.
Well,
Ah,
I am a woman, remember?
well, and you are a painter even before you're a turner, so
That's true. I
you
was.
tend to think that way a little more than a lot of us. But yeah, that y'all are seeing orange there, and from my angle, I'm looking kind of across it. That looks grassy green to me. I've got to get way over here in front of it before it turns orange. But it's just that's what those powders do. They change colors depending on the angle of the light.
Now,
Definitely.
Fred has said that you're all still babies to him. Wrong side of 75. Well, I hate to tell you, Fred, but we're not all still babies.
Hey,
Now,
there's another part of it I like. That
and
chatoyance in
also,
there is just killer.
yeah, also Fred is asking, is axe paste the same as chestnuts cut and polish? I don't
No,
believe it is,
no.
No,
Frederick.
it's closer to Hampshire Sheen
No, closer
or
to York grit.
Yorkshire
Yorkshire
grit.
grit.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. The cut and
Or,
polish
or
is
Superior grit if it's made in Canada.
yeah. The cut and polish, as I understand it, has it's wax with a grit in it.
Yeah, it's
Um,
pumice stone that's ground up very fine and mixed with the wax, and it's beeswax.
yeah. Um, and you are supposed to let it sit a while, as I understand, right? That's
Not for the wax that has the compound in it.
not
You
for the cut and
should,
polish.
if you're putting the polish on, which is just straight polish and not the abrasive in it, then yes, you're supposed to let it set for a bit and then buff it.
But
It's like when we used to wax our wooden floors.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the Yorkshire grit is a mixture of wax, mineral oil, and it's not pumice that Glyn used. It is God, I've forgotten it. Jamie, give me a helping hand here. It's not pumice that
Is it
Glyn
that
used.
DE?
No,
I
no,
don't know. It's not. No,
no. An axe is not DE either.
it's what used to. No, no, Mike. It's not. It's not that. It's what used to be used in French polishing, or what is used in French polishing.
And they use they use couple. They do use pumice for that, but they also use rotten stone.
Rotten
Right.
stone. That's it. That's what's in Yorkshire grit. It's wax, rotten stone, and mineral oil. That's in Yorkshire grit.
Which is not much different from what's in axes, I understand. Um,
Oh,
I need to do a little more sanding in the undercut here, but I'll do that later.
now Pete has informed me that I can't tie rags to my feet and slide around in your bowl or I'll fall out.
And Larry's in.
And I
Hey,
was just
Larry.
getting ready to do that, Pete. I've got my best sliding socks on.
All right. Gotta have sliding socks. All right, we're just about to wrap this up here. I won't put wax on for a while. I'm gonna, after the abrasive paste, I'm gonna let it sit for 15, 20 minutes. I'm gonna rub it down. That's gotta be Maggie.
Yeah, it is. It looks like the
Um,
visitors might be leaving.
yeah, but I will let this sit for a few minutes, give it a good wipe down with some alcohol, and then I want to give it a good spray over with lacquer, so I get this top real nice, not just the outside and the inside of the bowl, but the rim as well. Might as well look good, even if we are just giving candy away in it, even though I probably won't have any candy to put in it, nor will I have any trick-or-treaters.
Now, Ronald has said that his DIY sand and paste uses, I can't pronounce that, the
Diatomaceous earth.
that's it.
Yeah.
And Frederick is asking you, Doug, how much will you sell that lovely piece of work for?
If you will contact me, private message, we'll work that out. Let's see. I want to give it one more rub down with just a little bit higher speed. It's actually feeling really nice already. Yeah. We're coming off basically clean, but I do want to, I'm going to come back and I'm going to do a little more sanding down underneath the undercut rim here. I've got a tool marker too, but I should be able to get that out with some 80 grit without any trouble.
Lucy has said, again, that word,
Diatomaceous earth.
diatomaceous earth, is good for chickens to dust bath in. It's supposed
Yes.
to help control red mite.
Yes, it does. It's good for most all insects. Now, there are two different diatomaceous earths as well. One is primarily for insecticide, and it is very, the way it's been explained to me, the edges are very sharp. So basically, the insects eat it. They get shredded on from the inside out in their history. The other one is a little smoother, and that's what you really want in your, if you're going to make abrasive paste with it. That's really what you want to use.
Yeah, I use the stuff that they sell for going into the filters for pools.
Right,
Swimming pools.
right. And that's going to be the softer edged stuff.
It's amazing
And
what you
I
learn.
think
Ruby, you're totally right. It is amazing what you learn, because I didn't know any of this stuff.
Yeah.
But for those of right now, Lucy has mentioned chickens here. For those of you who keep chickens, have any of you ever bought sunglasses for chickens?
No.
Doug,
there we
when you
go
took that off the lathe and were holding it there as you changed the
The color
camera,
changed.
we could finally see the green that you were talking about.
Okay.
Now we just see black.
Yeah, I'm trying to fix that. Well, that's the strangest thing. Let's go to this one. There we go. Okay, yeah. There's the orange.
Oh yes,
There's
That's
the green.
crazy.
yeah.
Isn't that nuts? That is nuts, the way that powder does. But it's chameleon powder for a reason. It changes colors. And this one
And-
happens to be an orange and a green.
And that wood behind it looks really rich. The color just looks really just rich colored brown.
Yeah,
It
it's a
is.
beautiful color.
It sure is.
There you
Um,
go. You can see the green coming through now once you tilt
Yeah.
it.
In my research of catalpa used to be I'm mixing that up. Kentucky coffee tree used to be the Kentucky state tree, Kentucky coffee tree, and I've got a big log of it. One of these days I'll split it
I've
and I
got
may
some
core
here.
it.
It really turns beautiful.
Yeah, it does, and it's a nice brown as well. It's not a dark brown, but it's a very nice brown. Yeah, green, red, orange. You see it all in that stuff. That's an interesting powder. What was that?
Is that one of Emma's?
Yeah. It's this is the Inferno.
The Inferno. That's Emma Cook, the tiny
Yeah.
turtle.
Yeah. So there you have it, folks. A nice extended OG on the outside with an undercut rim that's colored with chameleon flakes that ended up 9 3/4 by 3 3/4.
Now,
So-
Fred says that he just used that powder on some tea lights, and as the flame flickers, he gets lovely reflections.
Oh, I bet you do, Frederick.
I bet so.
That'll be a brilliant effect, that will.
Yeah, I had not even thought of that, but that would be very cool to
Me
use a
neither.
natural color or natural candle and let it, as it moves about, it would change those colors. That it would be cool. I may have to give that a shot. My sister wants a clock. She saw my clock video and she wants a clock now. She said something on Facebook about she only had like 2 words, but it was obvious that's what she was wanting, that she wanted me to give that to her. My reply was, sorry, somebody else has your name for Christmas. So who knows? She may get it. She may not. Maybe she'll get a different one. I don't know. Okay. Wayne, who was it that was asking how much I would sell this for?
That was Frederick. Frederick Day.
Okay. All right, Frederick. Yeah, about $95, Fred. Ooh, wires coming down right in front of that. There we go.
That's a very
Plus
fair
ship-
price, I've got to say.
There we go. About 95 plus shipping. Excuse me. I've got to get out of this dust for a few days, I guess. It's about to wear me out. But anyway, there it is, folks. Like I said, we'll off air. We'll go back and do a little more work on it. Just right up on underneath the rim, there's a little bit of a tool mark. I don't know if that's from my bowl gouge or from the Easy Wood, either one. But I got a little mark that I didn't get out. We'll get it, no problem, because I've still got the tenon, so it's easy enough to fix. If there's nothing else, I think we're going to call this one done. Let me.
Beautiful work.
No, that's not what I want to do. I want to come over here and I want to hit that, and all my friends will come
There we
back.
go.
All 3 of them. It has been good. It's been a good day. I'm glad I went ahead and got that outside about 2/3 done, or we would not have had the time to finish it. It's almost an hour and a half as it is. I would have heard Pete pop the 3rd can by now. Oh, mercy. It's funny what we pick up over time, isn't it?
Yep.
It is, definitely.
Just like diatomaceous earth. But anyway, it's been fun. I hope everybody's had a good time. Share the video if you would. If you'll click the like button on your way out. Also, if you will,
Leave a
what was the other
comment.
thing? Oh, hit the subscribe button. If you hadn't hit the subscribe button before, go ahead and hit that. If you have hit it before, don't hit it again because that'll take you out. So it's been good to have you with us. It's been a good time. And with that, I'm going to say bye-bye, everybody.
Night.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Spin them around if you can.